Hello, everybody. Let me move this out my way. So I was thinking about what to call this video, but I thought this was the best title. It's a lot of stuff I could have said, but so this is the first thing that I thought to do today. Well, kind of one of my first things to go after today. So I woke up and I was gonna just chill, and I was thinking, I guess just having a regular day, but then the scripture came to my mind, Matthew 6:33. That one says, "But seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." The first part, but seek the kingdom of God first. I used to do this a lot back in the day, but I haven't been doing it like I used to. So I was wanting to focus on it. And one of the things that I used to do was I used to just go online or through my phone and find somebody that needed help in a spiritual, godly, and biblical way or area. It could just be simple as helping somebody fight demons or praying with them or, encouragement, anything godly in that area. So I got back to that today, right? So this led me to this video because lately it's been a lot of spiritual warfare. It never ends, but it's been like, for me and the people that I know, we've been like going up, like we've been leveling up with this, and we're going to different places, like new levels, new heights, and whew, maybe I'll talk more about that. But I've also met people who cast demons out. I know, I know one at least, and haven't spoke to her in a while, but yeah, I might have met one today, another one. But so my question for you all is: do you need help learning how to fight demons? Do you get attacked spiritually a lot by demons? Do you know how to fight them? Because what I was going around asking people today was, how you doing spiritually? Because I would ask this a lot back in the day. Because, how you doing and how you doing spiritually are two different questions. And they require different answers sometimes. So, you know how you would start a conversation with somebody and you'll say, "How you doing?" Most likely they're going to tell you good. But when you say how you doing spiritually, it's different. Some people don't know how to answer this. They don't know about the spiritual realm, but that's different. So I would explain, like, are you being attacked by demons? Are you good? So they'll know what I'm talking about. Some people don't know still what I'm talking about. They never thought about it. But it's some people that are being attacked and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to fight them. So what I want to share in this video is how you fight them. Just give you some ways, and explain some things in that category today. And anybody that watches this can comment in my live video about, that you don't know how to fight demons, you would like to learn, or you can just comment in the comments after the video is posted and let me know. So let's get into some ways that demons can communicate with us and attack us and things like that I'm aware of and that I can think about in sharing this video. I didn't prepare anything, so I have nothing written down to just read and I don't have none of that. It's all coming from my mind, memory right now. So what you get is what I remember and what comes to me right now. So ways that demons or evil spirits can attack you is, hey, how you doing, Jamie? Shalom to you too. It's through dreams, visions, dreams. They're synonyms, same thing. Sometimes people can have nightmares, and a lot of people never. Well, some people might not think about it like this. That a nightmare is a evil spirit attacking them or you know, sending them that dream. But I have learned that that's the case for a lot of those. Now, it could also be a sign from the Most High showing you that you need to turn your life around or something very bad is going to happen, but it's sometimes from an evil spirit. So you can have dreams with them in it or them attacking you. It can be like a battle between you and the spirit, like we fighting physically and supernaturally using um, godlike powers, but it can also be where you're held down in a dream, and maybe you might actually even wake up and still be held down by a demon. But it's also been cases where people have reported that they have been sexually, I don't know how you say this, but I don't know if it's abused or like the demon was trying to have sex with them, stuff like that. I've even had a dream where was I having sex? Or was I about to? I think I was about to. I've even had a dream where it was this girl in my dream, and she was one color, like one shade of skin, and then she transformed into another person in front of me. And I woke up and thought about that. And I'm like, that was a demon. Because demons, well, spirits in general can shapeshift. They have the ability to do that. We can't do that. That's not a power that humans have. Like ordinary people can't shapeshift. You can't be one shade of skin and then turn another shade of skin and just change to a whole different person. No. No. When that happened, I'm like, yeah, that was an evil spirit. So, um, I want to talk about books you can read about demons and how to fight them and things like that too. So hopefully I don't forget about that, most high willing. Um, Jamie says assaulted. Okay, gotcha. All right. Now, what's some other ways besides dreams? And now they can also attack you physically. They can knock stuff down in your room or apartment or house. Um, it's been cases where you might hear stuff. They can they might even be able to speak, like verbally say stuff. And I'll tell you one thing they can do. They can sound like people like your mom, your loved ones. They can imitate their voice in a dream, and you can learn over time to know when it's them and when they show up because they act a certain way. It's just not always right when they're around. Like you just don't feel right. You got that scary presence or that presence like this ain't good. Most of the time that's how it is. And you just know this ain't right. Like this ain't a good spirit. Um, I've had dreams where they have sounded like my mom, and they will use my mom against me. So, and they can read your mind. They can find out what you're thinking and what you know, and they're very up to date on you. So, if you think something, they can use it against you. And just as an example, if you think that you've gotten to a certain level or point in your life where you've been doing very good at defeating them in certain areas, they know that. And if you say y'all gonna have to use my mom against me, or y'all gonna have to do better than that, or if you say something like that, they know you said it, and they will use it against you. Because I've done that a certain amount of times where I will say y'all gonna have to use my mom against me, or my family against me, or I will say stuff based on how I'm doing against them, and they will use it against me either the same night or after that. And if you realize you're weak at fighting demons, like if you realize that you've gotten weaker at fighting them, whether it's by dream you find out or just your own reality, how things are going, and or dreams, you better try to like fix that quickly, because I was shown in my reality and in dreams that I was not doing good at fighting demons at this point, and they whooped my butt in 1 week because I was being lazy at trying to recover and do better at fighting demons at this point. I should have tried to like get strength in that area because they whooped me that week. They whooped me in dreams. Like I think back to back, like 2 nights in a row, they was whooping me in dreams. I mean, like when they attacked me, yeah, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't. But the good news is, it's some good news in here. It's not all bad. Let me say this: if you ever get attacked by a demon, it's not that it's only bad because the demons can reveal things to you that you need to know, that you need to learn, that you need to grow from. In a way, they're here to help or test and try you. Whether you lose, whether you win, that's on you and your relationship with the Most High and things like that, your faith, your doubt. It's a number of things that play in the battles, whether you win or lose or overcome. But to go further with this, how they can help. One time, they came to me in a dream and revealed to me that I was weak at fighting demons in dreams. And they didn't just flat out say, "Hey, you're weak at fighting demons in dreams." No, they're not gonna tell you that. They're gonna show you. How they show you is by whooping your butt. So let's just say you have a dream and you get attacked by a demon, and let's say in the past you were real good at fighting demons. You have gotten to a point where you can whoop this demon's butt. You know, you can cast him out. You could use the Most High's powers against him, but at this point in your dreams, you do not have that ability to do the same things because you have grown weaker at this point. At this point, they just whooping your butt. You can't do anything that you normally would do because you've grown weak. And that dream will show you that you've gotten weaker at fighting demons. You need to strengthen yourself. So that dream, if you wake up and acknowledge it and analyze it and try to grow in your faith and, fighting demons again, do what you need to do to fight better. You can fight better. And what I didn't do was I didn't do those things. I just knew it and I just went on about my life for like a week. Well, I had to eventually get back to it because they was whooping me. So they attacked me again like the next night. I still did bad. So I eventually got on it, got it together. So they can help you out because they'll show you areas that you're weak at. That's what this is about. If you know you're weak at drinking alcohol and you can't handle it, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bad drunk. Just gonna be honest. That's not for me right now. I can't just drink and do good. Like I know me. I can't get if I drink too much. If I get to the tipsy and drunk part, it's over for me. I'm the type of person that would take my clothes off. I would get sexually or sexually. I would get sexual. I was also the type of drunk that would fight people or try to fight people. And it could be more than that, but I wasn't a good drunk. So I know me, if I get drunk, it's over. It's over for me. So if you know that you're not good at getting high or getting drunk or going to clubs or whatever, stay away from it because them demons know. They know you too. Let me give you some advice on how they operate. They have radiuses in areas that they patrol, like police. You have in every city, you have police. You have, I don't want to say my city, but let's just say you live in Jersey County or, yeah, they go by counties sometimes too. But let's just say you got Jersey County. I'm just making up something. And you'll see it on the police's cars. It'll say like Jersey Police or Jersey City Police or whatever city it is, police or whatever county, and they patrol that county or that city. And then you go to another county or another city, you'll see different color police cars, different city names on them in different counties. They patrol the areas. Demons do the same, but they might have bigger radiuses. The way you can find this out is if you read the book called The Testament of Solomon. You find out that they patrol certain areas. And that's smart because it keeps them from traveling to and fro, very, very far. Like, example, it's a certain demon in the Testament of Solomon. I think it's called Asmodeus, but he was the one who, let me get the book. I was thinking to grab a bunch of books before I did the video. I was thinking that would be one. I'm gonna just grab a bunch of them. I still ain't got the one I want. I got so many of them. I'm getting there. Okay, I think I know those work. Okay, we got about 10 books. Wait, I see one more. Okay, I think this isn't even all of them, but I got about 10. I got 11, okay. So, we'll just read some books real quick. I'm gonna just read the titles of the books I got. So, this book in my hand is The Dead Sea Scrolls Uncovered. That's what it looks like. Now, it is some stuff on fighting demons in that book. This book here is called Lost Scriptures, Books That Did Not Make It into the New Testament by Bart D. Ehrman. This one is the New Testament Apocrypha by, well, it says edited and introduced by M.R. James. This one is the Clementine Homilies by Clement I. Pope, I suppose. This is the side of it. This is what it looks like. Some of them might look different, but same stuff sometimes. This one is The Recognition of Clement, or The Travels of Peter, in 10 books. Now we're getting to a little bit more basic, kind of, but this is the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha. Did I show y'all that, by the way? I have no clue. The Old Testament Pseudepigrapha, Volume 1. I read from this a lot. I'm going to read from that soon, too. Because the Testament of Solomon, I think, is in there. Yeah, it should be. The Old Testament Pseudepigrapha, Volume 2 by Charles Charlesworth, I think. James H. Charlesworth. I'm sorry, I said. Whew, that was funny. Okay, so this one is the books of Enoch, 1, 2, and 3. The third is not by Enoch, though. Just saying. This was edited or translated by Joseph B. Lumpkin. The Lost Books of the Bible by William Hone. The Nag Hammadi Library, not the Nag Hammadi Scriptures, they're different. This one was by James M. Robertson. He was the general editor. There's a lot of James going on. Okay. The Singing Gospel of Peace, book 1 through 4, and I don't know the author or editor's name, but besides all these, of course, you could just pick up a basic Bible. The Holy Bible, 1611 edition, King James Version. I mean, with the Apocrypha, but of course, that's a thing that can help you fight demons and stuff like that. So, these are 12 books. All of them, I know a lot of them definitely do have scriptures about fighting demons. I know that. I have read a lot of stuff in these books. You got some stuff about how in the Essene Gospel of Peace, where demons was being cast out of people and how bodily fluids will leave their bodies and how some of them will vomit out of the mouth. Some of these things happen today. And it's even stuff in the Bible where demons were being cast out. Now I'm gonna go to the Testament of Solomon. I forgot what book is in, volume 1 or volume 2 though. It's in volume 1. Okay, that's the one I got. So the Testament of Solomon is at the end in this book. So the part that I was talking about, it's a demon named Asmodeus, I think. And he was the one who was in the book of Tobit, who was with that lady, I think her name was Sarah, and he was the one that was killing all the men who was trying to have sex with her and marry her. He was attached to her. And in this book, it talks about that same demon. His territory was in Assyria. That was the the area that he roamed. He didn't go outside of Assyria like that if he did. And it tells you that from both of these books. And it tells you he was the one that will be put to flight by the liver or gall of a fish if you make a smoke with it and stuff like that. So I'm gonna find this in both of these books, and we're going to connect some stuff, most high willing. And it's another book. I forgot, it's another one. We have also King James of Demonology. Wow, I forgot about that. Now this ain't all the books. It's more books, but these are just some of the ones that I have and that I can recall and that I know of. There's probably even some stuff in the Quran as well, but I haven't read the whole thing and I don't remember any scriptures from the Quran. Just saying. I do not remember. But I ain't worried, I don't need the Quran. So I got enough right here. But let's see what we can find here. So I'm gonna try to go to the Tobit, to find out about this demon real quick. And it's a lot of ways just from the Old and New Testament that'll show you how to cast out demons. You don't even gotta go to the outside sources like these other books. Because a lot of the ways that I learned to fight demons didn't come from these other books. But these other books just help you pick up and learn more ways of how demons can interact with you and how you can fight them and how they may be attached to you and how you can fast and baptize yourself to get them out of you, to keep cleansing your body. Like the Bible don't talk about that you got to continually baptize yourself and fast to get rid of demons. And if it does, I have never caught it or remembered that. The Bible just tells you to be baptized once. It don't say keep baptizing yourself, and especially for the reasons that you need to keep purifying your body and cleansing out these evil spirits if they ever get in you. It don't talk about that. Well, it's a book called The Essene Gospel of Peace that does. So let's go to Tobit. I'm in Esther right now. I think I passed. Wisdom of Solomon talks about how to fight demons too, and how to cast them out. I passed it. Like just Wisdom of Solomon 1 through 7. You just read those verses right there. If you understand it, it'll tell you right there. I mean, I might get that as a bonus just to give y'all that. Okay, I'm in Tobit now. So I'm in chapter 8. Let's see where this demon is at. And when he has supped, yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, okay, check this out. Okay, so chapter 8 in Tobit says, verse 1, and when they had supped, they brought Tobias into her, and as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, and by the way, that's the angel, archangel. And then it says, and took the ashes of the perfumes and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon, and made a smoke therewith, the which smell, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into the outer parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. And after that, they were both shut in together. Sister, I'm sorry, shut in together. Tobias rose out of the bed and said, Sister, arise and let us pray that God would have pity on us. So the rest of this is it's going to talk about a prayer, but the first three verses was about that demon, and it talks about the demon more before this. Let's go back to the chapter before, because I'm trying to see. Oh, this must be it. And likewise, let me skim this. Killed a ram. I'm trying to find out. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay, so in chapter 7, it talks about the demon again. So it might even talk about it in it talks about it in verse 6 too. Wow. Well, let me look at verse 7. I might just have to read from 6, then 7. Yeah. Okay, I see in verse 7 though. It says around verse 7. It says, and blessed him, and said to him, You are the son of an honest and good man. But when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept. And likewise Edna his wife, and Sarah his daughter wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully. And after that they had killed a ram of the flock, they set store of meat on the table. Then said Tobias to Raphael, Brother Azarias, speak of those things of which you did talk in the way, and let this business be dispatched. So he communicated the matter with Raguel, and Raguel said to Tobias, Eat and drink and make merry, for it is meet that you should marry my daughter. Nevertheless, I will declare to you the truth. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men, who died that night they came into her. Nevertheless, for the present be merry. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till... Okay, well, that was just a part of it. But remember the 7 men. So I'm going to go to chapter 6 where it gets into it a bit more. So I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, Then the angel said to him, Take the fish. Do I need to go up a little bit? Nah. Okay, it says, Take the fish. And the young man laid hold on the fish and drew it to land, to whom the angel said, Open the fish, and take the heart, and the liver, and the gall, and put them up safely. So the young man did as the angel commanded him. And when they had roasted the fish, they did eat it. Then they both went on their way till they drew near to Ecbatane. Then the young man said to the angel, Brother Azarias, to what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish? And he said to him, Touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or an evil spirit trouble any, we must make a smoke thereof, before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed. And sorry. Then it says, As for the gall, it is good to anoint a man that hath whiteness in his eyes, and he shall be healed. That was for somebody else, but then it goes in and say, the angel said to the young man, Brother, today we shall lodge with Raguel, who is your cousin. He also hath one only daughter, named Sarah. I will speak for her, that she may be given you for a wife. For to you do the right to her appertain, seeing you only are of her kindred, and the maid is fair and wise. Now therefore hear me, and I will speak to her father. And when we return from Rages, we will celebrate the marriage. For I know that Raguel cannot marry her to another according to the law of Moses, but he shall be guilty of death, because the right of inheritance do rather appertain to you than to any other. Then the young man answered the angel, I have heard, Brother Azarias, that this maid hath been given to 7 men, who all died in the marriage chamber. And now I am the only son of my father, and I am afraid, lest if I go into her, I die. as the other before me. For a wicked spirit loved her, which hurt nobody but those which come to her. Wherefore I also fear lest I die, and bring my father and my mother's life because of me to the grave with sorrow. For they have no other son to bury them. For the angel said to him, Do you not remember the precepts which your father gave you, that you should marry a wife of your own kindred? Let me see if I need to keep going. Yeah, okay. And then it says, Wherefore hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given you to wife, and make no reckoning of the evil spirit. For this same night shall she be given you in marriage. And when you shall come into the marriage chamber, you shall take the ashes of perfume, and shall lay upon them some of the heart and liver of the fish, and shall make a smoke with it. And the devil shall smell it, and flee away, and never come again any more. But when you shall come to her, okay, this is going into some other stuff. So he was telling him that after that, pray. That's what the angel said. He said, you do this. You do this with the fish, the liver, and the gall, make a smoke within the perfume and all that, and then you pray. But this was just in Tobit, and if you read more of Tobit, it tells you where they were, what area. They was in Ecbatane, they was in Nineveh, and that's in Assyria. That's over there, right? And the things that it describes about this demon, it describes in the Testament of Solomon. So I had to read a lot, sorry, but now if I go to the Testament of Solomon, it talks about the same demon. Bear with me. And I will read what y'all said. I just want to find this so you can connect dots as I did. And it's not that far in the Testament of Solomon. I just got to find out exactly where. I'm in the Testament of Moses. Wow, I'm not supposed to be in that book. Okay. So let's see. I'm getting there. I thought I had it bookmarked, but I must have didn't. Okay, I see it. Is that the one right there? Because there's so many demons in this book. I'm trying to see if that's the one. Nah, that's not him. I don't think so. Raphael, yep, this sounds like the one. There he is. Okay, so I'm on page, in the pseudepigrapha of the Old Testament, 966, and this is when he met the demon called Asmodeus. Now, it says in verse 6, I'm going to start right here. It says, When I, Solomon, heard these things, I bound him with greater care. Then I ordered him to be flogged with a rod, and to defend myself by stating his name and reporting his activity. The demon stated, I am the renowned Asmodeus. I cause the wickedness of men to spread throughout the world. I am always hatching plots against newlyweds. I mar can mean destroy. So think of that synonym. I mar the beauty of virgins and cause their hearts to grow cold. I said to him, Is this all that you do? He spoke again. I spread madness about women through the stars, and I have often committed a rash of murders. And this is what else it says. It says, Then I adjured him by the name of the Lord Sabaoth, Asmodeus, fear God, and tell me, by which angel are you throttled or frustrated? This is what he says. The demon Raphael. Think about that. We was just reading in Tobit, Raphael was the one who bound him after he was cast away. So, let's keep this in mind, right? And then, after he said this demon frustrates him or throttles him, it says, the one who stands before God. That is absolutely true too, according to other books. Then it says, but also a liver and a gall of a fish smoking on coals of charcoal drives me away. Now that is similar to what we were just reading in the book Tobit. Raphael told Tobias to take the perfumes of a fish, the liver, I think, in the heart, and make a smoke therewith. And the demon will flee away. Now, I'm going to read this again. It says, but also a liver and a gall of a fish smoking on coals of charcoal drives me away. I asked him again, saying, do not hide anything from me, for I am Solomon, son of David. Tell me the name of the fish you fear. He replied, it is called the Shiak fish. Um, it's another name for it too. They call it the Glanos fish too. It has an M next to this word. Where's the M at? Let's see. M. I don't see the M yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, Greek. It also can say Glanis, and other translations spell it Glanos. So I looked for this online, and this fish is only found in one part of the world, Assyria. This is the same location that they were at in Tobit. This is where this fish is, and this is where this demon is also. Well, where he was roaming. So let's keep going. Check this out. The scripture says this in the Testament of Solomon. It says, he replied, it is called the Shiat fish. It is found in the rivers of Assyria, and it is hatched only there. To my research, that is true. Now, let's keep going. It says, I am also found in those parts. That's what the demon said. True. And it gives me a cross-reference to Tobit 6:2. Now, in Tobit 6:2, it talks about this big fish that came out of the water, and it almost devoured Tobias. And this was the same fish that the angel told him to take out his heart, the gall, and the liver and put them up safely. And this was the same fish that he made the smoke therewith to make the demon flee away in Tobit. But I just wanted to show you that because this book gives you some information about how demons have certain areas that they patrol. But I came up with this not just from these scriptures, but based on my research too, outside of these scriptures, going by these scriptures to see if these things were true. Because when I read the Testament of Solomon, you know, I had to question whether this was true or not. And I got spiritual confirmation that it was. And then later on, I also found out that from Tobit, it connected with the Testament of Solomon. So I just did some extra research and, put all that together. But that's one. So they have areas that they patrol and territories, and it makes sense. And it's a lot more demons spoken about in here. In this book, if you ever read it, it tells you the powers that they have and the things that they can do. And some might even tell you the areas that they patrol and what you can do to get rid of them. So that's some of that for the Testament of Solomon and Tobit. The Testament of Solomon is one of the most informative books on demons. If you read that, you'll probably never forget some things in there. Sorry about that. I was getting a phone call. I'm like, okay. So this brother who's calling me actually got some information about fighting demons too. Maybe I should get him in a video. But you know what? I'm gonna get him in a video. Hold on. Let's see what he can give us. Hey man. Hey man, how you doing?
Hey Mike, man. What's going on with you? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, I'm actually in a YouTube video, man, and I was telling them Aydahs Brother right here, he actually got some information about how to fight demons too. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get him in a video. So I got you on live, man. We're on YouTube.
Okay, all right, good stuff. All right, cool.
And hey, this is what I want to ask you for everybody, because I know you got some additional information that I don't have or remember. So what can you think of that you could just share with everybody about like where to go as far as books and scriptures about how to fight demons? Because that's the topic right now. I already went over like some stuff about like I went into the Testament of Solomon and compared it with Tobit and showed them cross references and how they link up. And I showed them how demons have certain areas they patrol. And I went a bit more than that, but I didn't really get that deep yet. So I know you got some stuff that I can't remember and some books that I haven't gotten too deep into. But what can you share if you got anything for these people?
Okay, well, first I want to say peace and blessings. I want to thank the Most High, Ahaya, living Alahayim, in the Messianic covenant through the teachings of Moses, the prophets, and the patriarchs, and the holy apostles, man, for the ministry and the teaching and the edification of us as a people in these last days, for giving us the wisdom and knowledge to learn how to properly deal with these things the more we study them. In the book, The Clementine Homilies, the journal of what's his name? Clement.
Yeah.
What Peter was telling us was is that devils, or what we refer to as demons, are the descendants of the fallen watchers that we refer to as the Nephilim. And it was telling us in Jubilees, the 10th chapter, for those who take Jubilees, that these are malignant spirits that are created in order to destroy, and that the Most High had allowed a tenth of them to remain, so that way we would understand how to deal with them spiritually and how to subject them and put them in bondage in different ways. And so the book was given to Shem, and I believe some of the texts that we have, such as the Testament of Solomon, is one book. If people want to look into that, there's the King James Demonology. That was a good book that goes into how the devils are responsible for certain types of sicknesses and disease. If we remember through the Gospels, when the Messiah would heal people, oftentimes the devil would leave a person, and they had a certain type of sickness, or depending upon what it was. You name it. Or if they had some type of unbelief, or were stricken with some type of disease for a number of years, oftentimes it was somebody that was troubled by a devil. So they're on a couple levels. And then in the Clementine Homilies, Peter had said that the reason why devils get power over men is not just because of unbelief, but oftentimes it deals with one's nature and what one chooses to partake of their immediate environment. And I'll give an example. Like devils, he was basically saying, only possess men because they want to enjoy certain lusts of the flesh that they can't do because they're malignant spirits. So a devil will try to join himself to somebody who will submit to different forms of sinful nature, such as fornication, adultery, murder, you name it, incest, sexual idolatry, you name it. And then also, he was basically saying, so if we want to put demons to flight, Peter said the best way is abstinence. That's according to the Clementine Homilies, which means not giving in to sexual urges and things like that. Also with prayer, praying to the Most High when one really is having a very difficult challenge with certain types of lustful desires, and it could be a bunch of different ways of lust. And then he also said also by fasting, basically, like not eating meat and not eating certain types of foods, because they attempt to enter into us by also what we consume, because we're not supposed to be consuming anything that has bled out or that has died, according to the Clementine Homilies. And then he also said that also by mikvah, what we refer to as baptism, basically. So Peter was showing us how to keep our interior man clean, with prayers, fasting, not giving in to certain types of behavior, and also mikvah, washing, and good works, which means giving food to the, giving, out of a cheerful, a peaceful heart, and out of a good heart, giving food to the hungry, giving water to the thirsty, make sure the blind get to their destination, and things like that, and staying on that continuum and not giving into it for extended periods of time, because now that devil is not going to want to dwell in that person, because that person does not do the things that the devil wants to do. It's going to go and want to be with somebody that gives in to the lustful desires of that particular person. And so those are some of the ways that one could help put them to flight, and also by keeping the commandments or keeping the laws of Elohim. As devils do not care about keeping the laws of the Most High. They don't want to put the Most High first. They are all about idolatry. They're all about lying. They're all about stealing, killing, destroying. They don't want to hear they don't want to hear the name of the Most High, or even also calling on the name of the Messiah. And so there's a couple of different ways that someone can help put themselves in a good defense position, especially on top of their home, because they don't like water. If you remember in the gospel, when the Messiah had healed the man who came out of the cave, so I think it said, lead them for we are many, he sent the unclean spirits into pigs, and pigs are unclean animals, and he sent them down into the water. And so water represents in a way like faith, and also like the flood, of which a lot of them and their ancestors were drowned in, and that's what the Messiah has told us. It's also what keeps us, with the belief, basically, of baptism, and that we have been healed from any past sins and things like that. Keeping the laws of the Most High. But what else you got, brother Yahoo?
Appreciate it, Doug. Jeremiah Yahoo. That's his Facebook name for anybody that does have Facebook. My name's also Yahoo. Can't even say it. Yahoo down on Facebook. If you find me, I can probably link you to Doug. Doug does a lot of videos on Facebook about many different topics. So if you can learn stuff from Doug, and win-win. But that's who's on the phone right now. But I'm gonna give him some more stuff, Doug. I'm gonna let you go though,
Okay.
and continue the video. I'm glad you
Okay.
said some stuff. I'm gonna probably touch on some stuff you said. Thanks for calling, man, and thanks for sharing that with us, though.
All right, man. If you want me to come back on, I can support the references from the Clementine homilies, and also it's in the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles as well. If you want me to go through and support those second, third sources, I can. But peace and love, family. Thanks for the opportunity, brother Yahoo Yada. Peace and love to everybody. Shalom, fam.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Peace and love.
All right, man. Peace to you too. Okay, he's gone. All right. So y'all let us know if y'all want to get Doug back on and let him talk more and like show scriptures and support for some of the things he's saying. Let me know live or in the comments later on. And if you want to find out his Facebook name or anything, let me know in the comments or anything. I'll try to, link you up with Doug. Doug does stuff like this a lot, where he do like videos. His thing is Facebook Live and not YouTube. He doesn't do YouTube yet. He's thinking about it, but he hasn't done it yet. So me, I'm like the opposite. I'm like more YouTube and less Facebook. So you mostly will see me on YouTube, and you will mostly see Doug on Facebook. And sometimes we cross paths and then we do something together, but that's kind of rare. But anyway, Doug is one of the people that the Most High allowed to be in my life. I met this guy years ago on Facebook, and the Most High just allowed us to stay in each other's lives and talk and help each other, pray for each other. And, we fought demons. Like Doug has his stories and I have mine. And I still fight demons. So it's not like I'm not just saying stuff that doesn't happen to me. Some of these things, like I fought demons. That's kind of the reason I came to this side of on the Most High, because I was getting my butt kicked. I was trying to figure out how to fight demons. So I learned the best way is on this side. Now, I know y'all said a lot. So before I continue and go into some of the stuff he said and other stuff, let me read what y'all said to get caught up. But before I do that, I'm going to get something to drink. I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. I was unprepared on this one, y'all. I ain't had nothing to drink. I was just ready to do this live, Hey, we got Doug again. Let's see what Doug is talking about. Hey, Doug, what's up?
Brother, there's one thing I wanted to just, as it came to mind, man, when I said, man, let me call my brother Yahoo Yada back. Because one thing I wanted to touch on that's pretty big that people may not pay attention to, as far as, like demonology and how to rid themselves from unclean spirits and things. Ask if you have a moment. I just wanted to touch on this real fast.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
All right, now, according to the Clementine homilies, which is a good source, a second source of like 1st century CE liturgy as far as them dealing with unclean spirits, because Peter was doing a lot of healing and putting a lot of devils to flight. They could not even deal with Peter of his verity and things like that. He did not submit. But the one thing I wanted to touch on was idolatry. And what Peter had told us in the homilies is that devils are malignant spirits, and they need something that grounds them to this realm, which is why the Most High warned us about idolatry. He tells us to not have any idols of anything, like whether it be gold, silver, anything like that, whether someone has an image of what they believe to be the Messiah. an image of what they believe to be Mary, or an image of Buddha, or something like that, some type of stone, some type of crystal that somebody uses for some type of spiritualism. What that does is the devil will use that to put that person under the power of that idol. And also pouring out a drink offering unto them, and pouring out or giving them a meat offering, which means if you guys have ever gone to, I don't know, a nail shop or some type of liquor store, and you see a shrine by somebody from back east, whether it be Asia or the Middle East, and they have a shrine where there's incense, and you see people, with incense and things like that, or they set food down and things like that. That's kind of what that is, idolatry. And according to the Clementine homilies, he said that actually attracts devils, because they understand what somebody's trying to do, and they will answer somebody and be able to possess somebody and put them under their power. And so that's why idolatry why the Ten Commandments is against idolatry, why he says you shall have no other image of, in front of me and things like that. I believe if we understood this more as a people, I believe we would understand more of the importance of the Ten Commandments. It is to keep us spiritually clean in different regards. So idolatry was one of the main ones that people may not be aware of. Somebody, like I said, somebody can have a Buddha set up in their home and may not think anything of it. Somebody may have a cross in their hallway. Somebody may have some type of object or image of the Messiah on the wall. Remember, no images, even if he's Negroid or even if he's melanated, none. No idols, no images, no crosses around your neck, no amulets, things like that. Get those, smash them, break them, throw them in the fireplace, because that's what the devils used. That's what the devils are attracted to put somebody under their power. So that's what, forget which section in the Clementine homilies, but he was telling us why they were dealing with a lot of demons and devils around the time after the Messiah, because there was a lot of idolatry among Israelites, certain objects they would hold on to, and Peter was warning them left and right to not have any type of idols or images or anything, incense, offerings, and things like that. So that was pretty much it, Brother Yada. What do you think about that?
I think it's possible. I mean, they do need things to cling on to in order to stick with you and possess you. And like you said before, I can't say how you said it, I don't think, but maybe I can. You said basically that they need a way in, and sometimes a way in can be that you're open for possession. I know this from experience. If you're open, and sometimes you might not mean to be, but it might be something you're saying or doing that you don't realize is going to be opening you up for possession. And if you do it long enough, you might get possessed. And then you got to make a choice. Once, if you can find out that you are possessed, because some people possessed and don't know. But if you find out you are, then you got a choice. You're going to stay possessed, or you're going to unpossess yourself. And that's the choice I had to make. And first, see, I was very ignorant of the spiritual, biblical world, because I wasn't like a Bible reader back then like that. I was very ignorant of the stuff at that point. So I didn't even know what I used to be possessed by. I was like, I called my best friend he been in the church since he was 7 years old. So I figured if anybody know, I'm gonna call him. So I called and asked, what all can you be possessed by? And he said, only thing I know of is a demon. So I just took that. So I was like, well, I'm possessed. And then one thing I was gonna share in this video was unconditional love can cast evil spirits away too. It even say it in movies, but it's true. They cannot deal with that. Not for a very long period of time. They have to leave. And that's how I got the demon cast out of me. My mom showed me unconditional love for 30 minutes, and the demon left. And I knew when it left, I felt it leave. So I was going to share that too. Man, it's a lot that I want to share, but that's just one of the things I was going to get, man. So I appreciate you calling back and talking with us and sharing that too.
Okay, and then I wanted to bring up this too. I wanted to piggyback on what you said about unconditional love. That's why when they asked the Messiah, what's the greatest commandment? He said, hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohika is one. He said, you shall do what? Love Yah with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. And he said, love your neighbor as yourself. That piggybacks and agrees with what you're saying, that love is the biggest form of defense. unconditional love against the dark realm, as they are full of hate and anger and malice and things like that. That's why we talked about giving food to the hungry, out of a pure heart, feeding, giving spiritual water or literal water or food or money and things like that to those that are in need. It's showing the love of the Most High. It's breaking somebody from bitterness that they once have had. Maybe somebody's having a really hard time, maybe a former racist person, and you come up to them and show them kindness. You give them food or whatever, and they're really racist in their ways, and they might be full of these unclean spirits because they dwell with somebody who has unclean mind or unclean emotions or spiritualism, and you bless them with kindness, and then it allows them to reflect and to feel love and to feel like maybe they were in error and maybe they could come to repentance in that way. So I definitely agree with that there. But then also, I think it was in the book of Samuel when David played the harp, if we remember that, because Saul had an unclean spirit with him, and I think he played the harp, and I think the unclean spirit had left Saul, when David had played the harp, the unclean spirit had left Saul. So I do believe that music, certain types of edifying music as well, can also drive them away as well. If we look at that in dynamics. But anyways, brother, Yahoo Yada family, don't want to stay up too long, but I appreciate the opportunity. But I do agree with you, unconditional love is definitely one of the ways as well to keep the unclean realm, words of kindness, actions of love. I would say definitely reading scriptures out loud and things like that. At all times, I would tell people if they feel like they have something in their house that is unclean, what has worked for me in times past was, putting water in a container, and I would pray over it, and I would ask the Most High to bless this water, make it holy, and I would take pieces of it, put it in my hand, I would cast it around, and I would sprinkle it around my house, and I would pray sometimes in Hebrew or say things in English and read out scriptures out loud, and I would throw it around my house and ask the Most High, to bless the water and let the water, show that I'm doing everything to keep my house clean. Because I think it said faith, water and faith, faith is like representative of water. I think it said in the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. So if you're full of faith, the demon cannot stay with you, as it would represent like water putting out the fire of the demon or the devil, as what the water represents, as far as baptism, being able to put out unbelief. So definitely unbelief would be another one as well. Someone not believing. Also, the devil cannot dwell with somebody that's full of faith and that trusts in the Most High in the Messianic covenant. But anyways, peace and love, fam. Thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, man. I'll talk to you later,
All right,
Doug.
shalom, y'all.
And thank you too, man. All right, man.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Man, that was some deep, powerful stuff. Okay, so that was Doug once again. Jeremiah Yahoo on Facebook. He said a lot, so let's get back to it. Now, I did want to catch up with y'all before I got started, so I did write a little bit of notes, and I'm gonna try to go over some of the things he said and throw some more in here. We're almost at an hour in the video though, so we'll see what we get. But I don't care, my job is to serve, so I'm here to serve. All right, so let me see what y'all got. Man, we got a lot. Oh, not too much. Okay, I see that Jamie Lopez, which is probably gone, I'm not sure, says, love the t-shirt, thank you. Probably gone now. Opulent Enterprise says, peace to the Most High. Were you reading? I probably was. I was at one point. I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce your name right. I'm gonna just say Black Chicago because I ain't even gonna try to mess up your first name. But they said, I see you, bro. Shabbat Shalom or Shalom family. Shalom to you too. Thank you for joining. Chief Anointed says, Book of Tobit. Black Chicago says, I love that. Testament of Solomon. It has great detail on demons. It sure does. Chief also says, Shalom family and all praises to the Most High. That's what APTTMH stands for. Black Chicago says, Shalom, Lost Tribes. We almost there, y'all. And a lot of love after that with halos. That's cool. Chief Anointed. Oh, wait, I went down too far. Chief Anointed says, cross-reference or precepts confirm scriptures, 2 witnesses family. Okay, I don't know when you said that, but maybe you were speaking about Doug when he was saying some stuff, or maybe he was saying stuff to me. I'm not sure, but excuse me. Black Chicago says that's right, and keep fighting, Israel. We gonna make it, yeah. And some love, yeah. And Opulent says I'm here. Okay, Opulent. All right, cool. So I'm all caught up with y'all. Now, I gotta share some stuff because we went over a lot, and it's still a lot to say. Now, let me just say this too. We're about an hour in the video. I did do a video 3 years ago, I think, on how to fight demons. And the video isn't the most popular video that you're gonna see online about how to fight demons. But what I did share in the video, most of it came from scriptures and um, I think that's about it. So I had 7 ways that you can fight demons in the video. Some of those ways I shared in this video and may still share. One of them was the one that Doug pointed out was where you play the harp. Like in the scriptures, it does talk about how when David played the harp cunningly or well with his hands, because you got to be a skilled player. I mean, that's what it said. So when he did that, the evil spirit did leave Saul for a minute, and that is true. Sadly, it's not a lot of hard players. So if you would like to start learning to play a harp and get good at it, you can cast evil spirits away from doing that. It is in the Bible. Now, it's 2 scriptures about it in the Bible though, and it's in Samuel. I think it's First Samuel. Matter of fact, I'll at least get you the scriptures and then you can read them on your own time, but they are there, and I did do a video on this in the past. It's called How to Fight Demons. If you search How to Fight Demons by Yehoiada, you'll find mine because there's so many others out there that's ahead of mine. So if you just search How to Fight Demons, you ain't gonna find mine because mine has been buried under theirs. Mine didn't do as good as other people's, I guess, so mine is buried. But mine is out there though. But anyway, let me get these references for you real quick. I had to think about how to search for it. Playing cunningly with his hands. Let's see if I get it. On the harp. Okay, 1 Samuel 16:16 is one of the cases where David played the harp. This is what it says, which I wasn't supposed to read, but why not? It says, let our Lord command his servants here to search for someone who can play the lyre, which is a harp. He will play when the evil spirit from God comes on you and you feel better. And other cross references are 1 Samuel 16, verse 14, which says, after the spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul, a spirit of distress from the Lord began to torment Saul. But that isn't the part where David played. Oh, here it is. In chapter 18 of Samuel, book 1, verse 10, it says, the next day, a spirit of distress sent from God came on Saul, and he prophesied inside the house while David played the harp, as usual. Now Saul was holding a spear. And if you read around that, you'll see what went on. And here's another one, 1 Samuel 19:9. But as Saul was sitting in his house with his spear in his hand, a spirit of distress from the Lord came on him while David was playing the harp. And you can read on and you'll see how after David played the harp for Saul, it will say stuff like this, that Saul became refreshed and the evil spirit left him. So that is definitely a way to get rid of evil spirits. But once again, I'm not a skilled player at the harp. I don't even have one. So if y'all want to take that up, that can be a benefit for you and other people. But it is stuff online where you can type in, people playing the harp that are skilled at it, and you can just have that playing in the background. Now, Doug didn't say this part in the video, but Doug did do that. He had somebody play the harp in the background, and he did go around his house and read scriptures in every room. And he did also pray over water to be made holy and, sprinkle it in rooms. He had his times where he had to fight demons a certain way, but he got through it. So let's talk about some more stuff that you can do. Now, to stay caught up with y'all a bit, Jamie says, did you speak on my question on gluttony? I might have, but in this video I didn't, because I didn't see that until just now. But what is your question about it? And Black Chicago says, I play acoustic guitar. It works. Okay, that I never even heard of. Excuse me. That's interesting. Okay. So some other stuff that does work is spiritual songs, the right kind, like godly spiritual songs. They will make them flee too. Just letting the scriptures be played out loud will work. They will leave. The atmosphere will be better. And just reading yourself out loud, the scriptures will work. After a certain amount of time, they will leave. Unconditional love, as we said before, will work. They cannot put up with that for too long, like 30 minutes, and they gone. They can't do it. It's even in movies that they can't deal with love. They can't be around it. That's not for them. So let's see some other ways. This is one simple way that I do it. I know it's an hour in the video, but here it is. I already said this though, actually, before in the video, I believe, but here it is again. Just a simple way I do it the most, and it's very effective. And I just say, I cast all evil out in whatever name for the Son of God that you currently use. If you use Jesus or the Greek name or the Hebrew name, the ancient Hebrew name, whatever name you use for the Son of God, you say that. And they have to leave. So you just say, I cast all evil out in the Son of God's name, and say it with force, say it serious, and don't doubt. They have to leave. Bad news is, what you do after that is going to determine how long they stay gone. Good news is they got to go. They will leave. The bad news is they can come back. How fast they come back depends on you. So this part I'm going to share with you too. If you start sinning after that, like if you start thinking violently and having sexual lust or doing sexual things, in the wrong way, or anything wicked and bad, any sins, they can come back as quick as 15 minutes. Might be an hour. It might be hours later, but they can come back faster. So try not to do anything bad after that. Because I've experienced them come right back or, come back quick, depending on what I did after that. So just wanted to say that too. So Jamie says, is it a demonic, demonic, oh man, that's a new one. Is it a demonic attack or just sin? Oh, gluttony. Gluttony. Well, I'll see. Let's see. Gluttony. First, I want to just look up gluttony. Gluttony. Gluttony says habitual greed or excess in eating. Synonyms are greed, greediness, overeating, overconsumption, binge eating. Now, I would say it's bad to be greedy in anything. So it's mainly used for like food, but like just think about it. If you're just greedy towards anything, like let's say you got a wife or a husband, but you don't want just one, so you go get another one, whether it's legal or not, and you're not happy with just two, so you go get another one and another one. And let's just say they're not even doing anything wrong. They're doing everything to make you happy. You're happy with them. Well, I ain't gonna say you're happy with them. They doing everything to make you happy. They trying to make your life better. they're just very good, but you're still not content or okay with it, or okay with just them. You still want more. That's greed in another way. That's being like too much or just unreasonably greedy. You still want more wives or husbands when you got four that's motivational to you. They doing good things for you. They all good. Like what? Why you want more? So that type of greed is a bad greed. Now, I think it's possible to have a good greed. Like I think a good greed can be when, example, when I started my walk with the Most High like 5 or 6 years ago, or somewhere around 5 years ago, I was feeling like I had to read so much so fast and get caught up because I felt like I didn't know when I was going to die, and I didn't know if I had time to read it all. I didn't know if God was going to give me enough time to catch up. But He did. But I just felt like that. I just felt like I need to hurry up and learn everything as fast as I can, just so maybe I'm wrong, but I just felt, well, I think it's possible to have a good greed where you try to learn as much as you can as quick as you can and like get a lot of spiritual and biblical books. I think overall that has a good outcome. Like every book I read wasn't good overall and for me to keep, but most of them was. So I think it's a positive in it. And the only other positive that I can think of is when you're doing it for the fact that you might not live, like after that. Like let's say, example, when I was eating one day, it was around Christmas, and I was in the spirit, and I was already full, but I was thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna live tomorrow or wake up tomorrow. This in case this is my last moments, basically. I was like, I'm gonna just eat a little more or just drink a little more of this, even though I'm full. I don't need it, but I just did it for that reason. I don't think that's a bad reason, but if your reason is like just I guess a different reason that just isn't necessary or just bad. I don't know. I think it applies to the reasons for your gluttony or gluttony. If you just greed for, okay, example. We have a man named what's his name? Warren Buffett. He's a billionaire, multi-billionaire, probably gonna be a trillionaire if not already. This guy doesn't need any more money. He does not. This dude is so rich, but he's steady just, getting more and more money. At this point, why? And then, like, okay, what is he doing with this money to help? You got this much money, like, what are you doing? Your employees are suffering. You're not paying them enough. Like, okay, I used to work for this guy. I worked for, well, he sold a lot of his newspaper companies, but he used to own a lot of newspaper companies. He owned Winston-Salem Journal, and I was working for that company, but the employees are not paid good enough. Some of them, the place looks like it needs work done on the inside. I mean, it's like what they would call a ish hole, basically. And it's not, they don't even have a receptionist at the front desk anymore. The front desk is like beat down. They finally fixed it. It took them so long. They don't even have security. They used to. They couldn't even pay him enough, so he left. Or they couldn't afford to pay him, so I don't understand how you could be a billionaire, multi-billionaire, and can't take care of your companies. Like, it just don't make sense. And I know he's not the only one that's like working to take care of all his companies because he's got other people employed under him that does stuff for him. So if you hiring people to do these jobs for you, somebody isn't doing their job properly because your companies are suffering. I mean, and this is where you're greedy for no reason, or you're putting your money in the wrong places. Like if you're greedy, let's just say if somebody was greedy and they was like getting a bunch of money or things, But what was their reasons for like it? Let's say a person collects a bunch of money, but to do something positive with it, to like build a place for homeless people so they can have a place to sleep, wash and eat, or he wanted to get a bunch of money to help people when tragedies happen, or like that's good. That's a good reason for him want to collect a lot of money or to gain a lot of money. But if he just want to gain a lot of money just to gain a lot of money, then I don't really know if that's a good reason. Or if you just want to get a lot of money or get a lot of shoes just to get a lot of shoes, okay, well, what's the point? If you already got a lot of shoes, and I mean a lot, I mean like so many, it's just ridiculous. Like, what's the point? So I think it's about the reasoning for your gluttony. Because I mean, if you look behind me, I have a bunch of books. That's greed in a way. Like I have so many to the point where I don't need any more right now. That's not even all of them. That it's only like 100 right there behind me, but I have more in this little closet over here behind me too. That's not even in the bookcase because I have too many on the bookcase. Now I could be greedy, knowing I don't have much space or places to put these books, and just go buy more books. But how much sense would it make when I don't even have enough space already? And then you got to think about like just me. I think about the fact that I don't even read all these books. Some of these books never get read. So how much sense does it make for me to buy all these books? It just don't. Like okay, example. Like I got 4 laptops. I'm not bragging, but I got 4 laptops. And does it make sense that I go get another one when two is currently working fine and the other two are broken, but they still work? They're in the worst condition, but they all work. Two is working fine. Does it make sense that I just go get another laptop? No. Like that, to me, that's like a way of gluttony or greed in a bad way. That's like me having 4 perfectly fine King James Version Bibles of the 1611. They all in good condition. Nothing's wrong with them. And I go get another one. And when somebody asks me, well, why did you get another one? And I don't really have a good answer. Just to get one. I just wanted it. Like what? You get what I'm saying? I think it's something like that, though I'm not an expert. If none of this makes any sense, okay, sorry. But I think that's how you can look at it because it is people that are just ungrateful. And I think that's what the scriptures was indicating in Numbers when these people from Israel was eating something that the Most High gave them that they was complaining about. He gave them what they wanted and they ate and they were still not satisfied. They still wanted more. They were still greedy. So I think he killed a lot of them because they just were not happy. And yeah. So it's people like that too. Like imagine if you and I think that's a good point. I think you should go by that scripture in that context because if I'm right about that from what I remember, like just think about that. Like a person or people who they beg and complain. Well, let's start with this. They complain about missing Egypt, and this is what they was doing. They was complaining about we miss Egypt. We should have stayed. We had cucumbers, onions, and fish, and all this other stuff. And now we're in the wilderness. We don't have all these things anymore, and they wanted that again. That's what they missed. That's what they was complaining about, right? So the Most High gave them so much fish. He gave them so much fish that they can eat for a whole month. More than enough. He could have just gave them fish for a day or two or a week. He gave them a fish for a whole 30 days. As they were eating the fish, I'm going to pull the verse up. Um, let's see. Eating. I'm gonna try to find it. Numbers 11:4. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay. I'm gonna just read from verse 1. This is the situation, right? So Numbers 11:1. And when the people complained, I'm gonna read what you said too, man. Just give me one moment, one moment. Okay, so it says, and when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. And now look, he was mad, right? Even though the Most High was mad, this is what it says. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. Okay, so he consumed them, right? Then it goes on to say, and the people cried to Moses, and when Moses prayed to the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? Keep this in mind, right? Lusting is another way of saying wanting or desiring. Now, keep in mind, this is what they was lusting for. They wanted flesh to eat. It says, who shall give us flesh to eat? Question mark. Verse 5. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes. So they was complaining, like, this all we got to eat now. We don't got no fish, garlic, leeks, melons, cucumbers, and stuff like that. They wanted the old food, the old times. They wanted to eat what they was eating before. So then it says in verse 7, and the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof was, I don't really care what the color was. Let's go on to verse 8. And the people went about and gathered it. I don't want to talk about that. I want to go down to the part where they got the fish. Okay. Let's come down to where the fish came in. Okay, verse 10. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent, and the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. And Moses said to the Lord, wherefore have you afflicted your servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people on me? Have I conceived all these people, or all this people? Have I begotten them, that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom, as a nursing father bear the sucking child, to the land which you swear to their fathers? Whence should I have flesh to give it to all this people? For they weep to me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if you deal thus with me, kill me. That's what Moses said. So Moses was willing to die. Like, look, just take me out. It's too much. So now let's keep going though. It says, and if you deal this with me, kill me, I pray you. Pray is another way of saying ask. So imagine it says ask. So I'm gonna read it again. And if you deal thus with me, kill me, I ask you, or I pray you, out of hand. If I have found favor in your sight, let me not see my wretchedness. And the Lord said to Moses, gather to me 70. Let me scroll down, because that's not the point I want. I want the fish. Where they at? Here it is. Okay. Verse 18. And say you to the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and you shall eat flesh. For you have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and you shall eat. You shall not eat 1 day, 2 days, nor 5. Oh, I've had 3. Nor 5, nor 10, nor 20. But even a whole month, until it come out of your nostrils. And it be loathsome to you, because that you have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? And Moses said, the people among whom I am, are 600,000 footmen, and you have said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month? Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them to suffice them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them? And the Lord said to Moses, is the Lord's hand waxed short? Uh, you shall see now whether my words shall come to pass, or I added or. I'm sorry, I said or too fast. You shall see now whether my words shall come to pass to you or not. I forgot to say to you before. Okay. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders. So I can skip this one. And the Lord came down, next verse, in a cloud and spake to him. Do I need to read this part? No, I don't need to read that part. I'm looking for the fish. And the Lord, there it is. Verse 31. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on the side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between, this is the part I'm talking about. So remember, they complained about being in Egypt, eating freely the fish, garlic, and etc. And they wanted to eat flesh again besides the manna that they had. Now they were still eating, they were still surviving. They was just, it sounded like to me they was just tired of eating what they was eating. Now this could have been from they ate it every day and they was just tired of it, or they was just ungrateful. It was either one of the two or maybe both. But the Most High was frustrated with this. He still heard them and gave them what they wanted, but gave them so much that they was gonna eat it until they was loathsome of it. But this is what was going on, right? So they get the flesh. This is what's gonna happen. Verse 31 says, and the people stood up. Oh no, the next verse, my bad. Verse 32. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, it was chewed. The wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the people smote the people. And the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. And he called the name of that place Kibborath Hatavah, because there they buried the people that lusted. And the people journeyed for, okay, that's another part. So, even though they got what they wanted, and as they were eating, they got a plague, basically. Now, from what I remember, this is how I looked at this. I was thinking that as they were eating, they were still lusting for more. Like, that's what I remember. Now, I might have understood this wrong. Maybe I need to relook at it. But that's how I was thinking about it before. I'm like, they asked for this, they complained about it, and as they were eating, they were still lusting for other stuff or more. It sounded to me like they were eating this, and as they were eating it, they were still desiring more. They still wanted more. Like what they had wasn't good enough. I could have understood this wrong, but that's just what I was thinking about, like the ungratefulness. So maybe they wasn't grateful that they got flesh finally. So, you know what? I'm going to check this out from another translation. Numbers 11:33. Because the KJV words it a certain way. So let's see what the other ones say. Okay, so it says, but while the meat was still between their teeth, and before it could be consumed, the anger of the Lord burned against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. That one says before they even ate it. Okay, another one says, but while they were groaning themselves on the meat, goring. Goring, what the heck? That don't even sound right. Wait a minute. Goring. I gotta look that up. Okay, goring can mean eat a large amount greedily. Dang. You talking about gluttony. What? Okay. So, mm, but that's what it can mean. Um, it says fill oneself with food. What? I'm just messing. But dang, okay. I'm thinking something else. But let me see. The translation say, but while they were goring themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger blazed against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. Man. Whew. Okay, next verse. Next translation says, while the meat was yet between their teeth, before it was consumed, the anger of the Lord was kindled against the people. I guess it's the way they went about eating it, sounds like. Like, dang, y'all gonna act like animals? I guess they should have ate this in a more like humble manner, like chill out. Don't. Oh man. Alright. I'm gonna just read a little bit more. The that one's, let's see, this one says while the meat was yet between their teeth before it was consumed, the anger of the Lord was kindled against the people. Okay. Another one says, but while the meat was still, that's the same. Oh, wait, this one's a little different. It says, but while the meat was still between their teeth before it was chewed, okay, and then it goes on to say that. Let's see. That's the same. Trying to see if there's any different ones. Okay, this one says, but before the meat could be eaten, the Lord, well, sounds pretty simple. While there was still plenty of meat for them to eat, the Lord became angry with the people and caused an epidemic to break out among them. Yeah, this is some interesting stuff. This one says, but even as they were chewing the meat, and before they had swallowed it, the Lord became very angry with the people. Hmm. Now, it's some precepts with this, though. Psalm 78, verse 30 and 33, and Psalm 106, 14 through 15. Now, these cross references I would like to see too, because I think they give us some extra understanding. So let's check this out too. So I'm gonna go to Psalm. I'm gonna just go for my Bible after I get something to drink. Wow. I just found out they got a movie called Goring. I wonder what that's about. It's probably a documentary or something. I want to check that out. But let's go to Psalms. I guess I'll just go from online. Why not? Psalm 78, I think. Psalm 78. Verse 30 and 33. So let's check out this. Okay. So 29. Let's look at verse 22. We'll start at 22 and come down. So it says, because they believed not in God and trusted not in his salvation, though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven and had rained down manna upon them to eat. Now check this context out though. Sounds different, right? It says that they didn't believe in God. That's effed up. Then it goes on to how he rained down manna from heaven for them to eat, gave them something to eat. They still wasn't happy about that. See the ungratefulness I'm talking about? But then let's keep going. Then it says in 25, man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. So he gave them enough to get full off of too. And then it says, verse 26, he caused an east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. So they did eat, and were filled, for he gave them their own desire. That is true. Then it says, they were not estranged from their lust, meaning they still had their lust. It didn't go away. Now, think about lust as want or desire. So it says, they were not estranged from their lust. After all this, they still was desiring or lusting for more or for other stuff. They wasn't content. They wasn't grateful. Now, let's keep reading the whole verse. It says, they were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of God came on them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did come Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned and inquired early after God. And they remembered that God was their rock, and the high God, their Redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied to him with their tongues. For their heart was not right with him, neither were neither were they steadfast in his covenant. And I can believe that because it just don't sound right. Like when you read, when you just compare everything, and it don't sound right. It don't sound like they was doing right. Like it just don't sound like they was grateful. But that's just one. Um, well, that's just some of the context that goes along with it. But I want to see the other cross reference too. I'm gonna check out what y'all saying too. Now the other cross references are in Psalm 106, 14 through 15. Now there could be more to this story that I'm not reading, but I didn't read the whole Psalm in 78, so it could be more to go along with it. But I just read from a certain part. So I'm gonna go to Psalm 10, what is it, 6? Or yeah, 106. I'm gonna check out what y'all said too. Psalm 106. Let's see what we got. Chief says, "You're right, brother. I used to go to McKay's bookstores and just grab extra copy of particular books just because they was cheap." Shaking my head, we need to do that. Yeah, I try not to do it too much though. But the good news is, I went in there recently and I did get a book, but it wasn't for me. It's a surprise for y'all actually. I just don't know how I want to do this plan that's in my mind yet. So I haven't said anything to anybody if I have, but just know in the future it's something I got for y'all. Most High willing, I just haven't came up with the proper way of going about it yet. So when I figure it out, it's gonna be a book out there for one of y'all, and I mean it's in good condition. It's a book that can help you study the Bible in depth. So I currently use the same book myself, but I already got one. So I seen it and the price was like, oh man, I'm like, no way. I had to get it, but I was thinking to get it for somebody else. So for that reason, it wasn't a bad reason for me to get it. I just don't know how I'm gonna go about, that yet. But just know I got something for somebody one day. Don't know who's gonna get it. Don't know how I'm gonna go about it. But one day I'll figure all that out. Most High willing. So I'm in Psalm 106. Now, we got to go to verses 14 and 15, I believe. So, I'll just start about 4, just to get most of the story. So, verse 4, it says, "Remember me, O Lord, with the favor that you bear to your people. O visit me with your salvation, that I may see the good of your chosen, that I may rejoice in the gladness of your nation, that I may glory with your inheritance. We have sinned with our fathers. We have committed iniquity. We have done wickedly. Our fathers understood not your wonders in Egypt. As they remembered not the multitude of your mercies, but provoked him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. Nevertheless, he saved them for his name's sake, that he might make his mighty power be known. He rebuked the Red Sea also, and it was dried up. So he led them through the depths, as through the wilderness, and he saved them from the hand of him that hated them. and redeemed them from the hand of the enemy, and the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. Then believed they his words. They sang in his praise. They soon forgot his works. See, this is the part that I'm talking about. This right here. Where they forgot his works, which is a shame. But they forgot his works. And then it says, they waited not for his counsel, meaning his advice. These scriptures that we read today from the Bible are his advice. Well, to me, they're the advice of the Most High. They're his counsel. They're his guidance. It's more than just that, but that's how I consider it. So let's keep going though. But it says in verse 13 of Psalm 106, they soon forgot his works. They waited not for his counsel, but lusted exceedingly in the wilderness and tempted God in the desert. And he gave them their request. See, this is what I'm talking about. But sent leanness into their soul. They envied Moses also in the camp, and Aaron, the saint of God. The earth opened and swallowed up Dathan and covered the company of Abiram. And a fire was kindled in their company. The flame burnt up the wicked. They made a calf in Horeb and worshipped the molten image. Thus they changed their glory into the similitude of an ox that eat grass. They forgot God, their Savior, which had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrible things by the Red Sea. Therefore he said that he would destroy them, had not Moses, his chosen, stood before him in the breach to turn away his wrath, lest he should destroy them. Yet they despised the pleasant land. They believed not his word, but murmured in their tents, and listened not to the voice of the Lord. Therefore he lifted up his hand against them and to overthrow them in the wilderness, to overthrow their seed also among the nations, and to scatter them in the lands. They joined themselves also to Baal Peor, and ate the sacrifices of the dead. Thus they provoked him to anger with their inventions, and the plague break in upon them. So this is after, I think, the part where they, the context that I was speaking about. But it's just a lot of stuff like that where they will forget the Most High. They will forget about what he did for them. They will not listen to him. And even though they did these things, he was still merciful and gave them what they wanted, what they complained about, and that wasn't good enough. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm no expert, but that's what it sounds like to me. So let me see the rest of y'all comments, because I don't think I read everything. Aaron the Shiloh said, did I even read that? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, Aaron says, in the name of the Messiah of Aaron and the God of Jeshurun. Jeshurun means Israel, y'all. Okay. And words of the Holy Ghost, there is me. That's a scripture, I think, somewhere. But Chief Anointed says, sounds like we should be content with what he gives us, cause we want things, but it's not necessary what we need. The Most High is always righteous. Yeah. I agree with that, because it's like things that we want, we always want something. That's just how it is. It's a scripture about that. The eye is never satisfied with seeing, and the ear is never satisfied with hearing. But that indicates we always want something. It just happens. Like we just always want something. And people always inventing something, so we always want something. And we always need something, but sometimes what we want and need isn't for us to have at the present time. Sometimes it takes years to get it. Sometimes it takes weeks or a day. It takes time. You can't have everything at the same time or like at that time. Like I wanted a car. Couldn't get that until years later. Wanted a house or an apartment. Couldn't get that until years later. Wanted certain books and things like that. Couldn't get certain books and stuff like that until sometime later. So it's just stuff that you might want and need, and you might have good reasons for it, but you just can't get everything at that moment. You just gotta wait for some stuff. Like I want more money. I mean, but I can't have more money right now. But I am sacrificing to get more money. And I know one day, most I will have more money. But because my thing is, one of my goals is to be financially stable. I don't want to keep having to, like realize I need more money, or I just don't want it to be this bad anymore. And then we always got to think about one day something might happen. Something might, and your job might get taken away. Okay, then what? You got rent to pay. Okay, so you either gonna pay it or you're getting evicted. You're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with these things. So I would like to be financially okay. I don't want to. Well, I'm not thinking about being rich like Warren Buffett, multi-billionaire, or the dude who owned is it Jeff? Is his name Jeff? The dude who owned Amazon, I can't think of his name. Bezos. Uh, I can't think of his first name, but him. I don't want to be a trillionaire, but if I did ever get that rich, I would want to use my money wisely and do good with it because Abraham was rich. It's people that was righteous that was rich, but it's probably a slim few righteous people or like a small amount of people that's rich and they do good with their money. Or it's either like half and half maybe. But it just no matter what the case comes for me or becomes with my money, I need to be humble, wise, and righteous with my money because what the the opposite of that is just not good for me. So whether I have it or not, which I prefer to have it at this point, the the goals still remain the same for that. So I think we're good on this topic. But gluttony, yeah, I still try to stay away from it sometimes. Like with food, trying not to eat too much. But I think gluttony is not just with food though. I think greed is just it's with everything. And think about it, like people being greedy right now during the pandemic, they buying up all the toilet paper. They trying to stock up on like some of these things that they don't even need that much. Like some people got so much of stuff, and other people don't have hardly any or none at all. Like they buying it up so much that hardly nobody else can get none. And some of these people that buying it all up, they probably not sharing it. They're probably just holding it. Hey, what's the point of that? Some people are giving giving stuff away, but some people probably not. So it's like kind of pointless, it kind of just reminds you of those rich people you hear about who have so much money that they die with it and they don't really distribute it or do what they should do with the money. I think I remember hearing songs about rappers who talk about all this money and they just selfish with it. That's not a good greed. I mean, they after money. Some people so focused on money, that's all they want to talk about. That's all they care about. If you don't have money or want to talk about it, they don't want to talk to you. I meet people like that now, and them ain't the people I want to conversate with too much. I know people like that need to be changed. They need to fight demons. They still on a spiritual battle like us, but I just don't want to talk to them like that. I mean, if I can help them out, if they're willing to be helped, and if I can help them fight demons, and if they willing, okay, cool. But them ain't the type of people I want to speak to, like that. I'm just saying. So yeah, it's a certain way to go about that. I believe it's kind of like that with a lot of scriptures and things. It's a good, like for example, lust. The word lust. It's a good lust and a bad lust. It's another word that people don't understand either. Where it's a good and a bad. It's like that with a lot of stuff. It's a good and a bad. Is it? I'm trying to think of that word. It won't come to me, but let me see what was said. Chief says that's a great reason. Maybe I should start giving away books as well. And he says, the word says, the riches of the world, the riches of the wicked shall be stored up for the righteous. I feel you, brother. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's also like the intentions of your heart too, because the Most High looks at the heart. What are the intentions of your heart? You know, when you perform in gluttony, because it happens to me every now and then. But I sometimes my intentions are just I might not live to eat this again. You know, I'll be like, well, in case I die tomorrow or something, or be like, oh, I'm gonna just take one more bite. Mine, I think that's an okay, reason. I don't know if it's good, but that's some of my reasons for my gluttony. Now with the books, I don't know if I be having too many good reasons for that. I just know sometimes it just be books I just have to get. I just sacrifice. I'm like, man, I gotta get this. Now a lot of books I got is because nobody else is gonna buy me books. It's just a fact. Most people just not gonna do that. So I gotta do it for myself. So I just buy a lot of books and bought a lot of books. Now sometimes I did it with the intent that I knew I shouldn't have got it or be getting it because I got so many books already. But I got it anyway. And sometimes I did it for the people. I started thinking about other people. Every time you get a book or somebody get a book, we could buy somebody else a book. Especially if we already got a lot of books already. Like once you become established to a certain degree, like I got a lot of books. So I'm good. I'm okay on books. So somebody like me, or at least decently established, like if you feel you got to a point where you got yourself enough books or a lot, and you can start buying books for other people. Like you can get you one, but get somebody else one. That way it won't always be about you. And then when the right time presents itself, you can give this book to somebody else. Or maybe they'll be studying or reading with you and you can like let them read from that one or however it go. But I just started thinking about other people. And then sometimes I would just buy books for other people. I'm not supposed to brag about it. That's not what I'm trying to do. But sometimes there would be situations where I know a way to get somebody a book and exactly what they want. And I go, okay. And I be in that store and I just get it for them. And the scriptures, say like not to toot your horn when you give and you do stuff for people. So I would try to give it away to them secretly. Like I remember one time I showed up at this lady's job and I worked there too. I just worked the second shift, and she was getting ready to go home. But I came and I told her, "Hey, come here," and I wanted her to come out of the office area in the hallway area, so nobody would see what was about to happen. Because I had a book for her, and I had gave her the book because she wanted to learn Latin. So I had went and got this Latin English dictionary, like books to learn Latin. And they were super cheap. So I got her one or two of those. And then I was like, hey, here you go. You said you wanted to learn Latin. Damn. So gave her the book and she was happy. But that way nobody saw any of it, you know what I mean? So I try to do stuff like that, but like be discreet with it. Somewhat if I can. Sometimes you can't be that discreet, but and even after I do it, I don't really tell a lot of people. Like some of the ways that y'all found out about me giving away books is because I said it. Like when I decided to go publicly on here about my book giveaways and stuff like that, that's because I really had so many books that it was like I need to get rid of some of these books. And I thought it was a good idea, but I was trying to do it for free. Like I wasn't charging anybody. I never charged anybody, and if somebody wanted to pay me for it, I accepted it, but I didn't charge anybody. I always would say, um, what would I say? I would look at it like a donation. I'll be like, hey, if you want to donate, okay, cool. But I never put a price on these books, and I don't plan to. At least these like biblical, spiritual books, but like any other book, like a dictionary or something that's not biblically completely, okay, cool, that's a dictionary. But still, when I was doing my giveaways, I didn't charge nobody. But that's when I decided to do it publicly though, because I was doing that stuff behind the scenes and I just wasn't really telling nobody like that, if anybody. And even when I shared it, I didn't share it in a way that I'm bragging or anything. I just would say, I would just confess, but because sometimes I don't want to share these things with people. I know these things is just supposed to be between me and the Most High and those people that's involved. So I know I'm not supposed to tell people these things. But sometimes, people ask and I end up having to tell the truth. I don't like to lie, so I just tell the truth. But I just tell a few people. I don't be telling people like that. I don't go around bragging about it. So yeah. But let me read what you said. Follower of Christ says, um, you're waiting on your reward in heaven. Some people like to do good openly and be rewarded by men. Yeah, I know. I think about that too. That's not what I want. I be remembering some of these scriptures. I be trying to apply them. So we're almost 2 hours in the video, y'all. My mouth is getting dry, but I'm still willing to hang out because I'm supposed to serve. So y'all got any questions or anything, we'll go into whatever. But I'm gonna try to get some more on these how to fight demons and it's a long video. Whatever. But maybe we'll do a follow up on this and I can do more on it. But for now, this is just me getting back into what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if y'all know the reasons why I'm doing this, but the reason is I said some of this earlier, but when I woke up, I was just thinking about chilling today. I wasn't planning on doing this until I thought about not long after I was in here just chilling, and I was just thinking about what I'm gonna do. And I wanted to see my old dog. I mean, some of y'all might remember my old dog. I used to call him Yachts. I wanted to see him. So I wanted to just go on YouTube and watch my old dog, because I got videos of him on my YouTube channel. And I was just thinking about him, that was a funny dog. He was funny, he was loving, and he liked to have sex. But but that was him though. So I was just thinking about him and I wanted to see him. So I was gonna do that, but I still haven't done that. And I don't know where he is. He ran away one day when I was at work, and I never seen him again. I was at work, and I was living with my grandma at the time, and it was her house. So, but he ran out. This is a story I heard. He was in the house. No. He was in the backyard on the chain, and he somehow either popped it or I can't. I don't know how it happened, but somehow he got away and he ain't come back. And the story I heard was he was picked up by the dog pound, so he probably got sold to another owner, or maybe put to death. However that went, but that's what I was told. So I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know completely what happened to him, but I did see the evidence that he did get away. Somehow he got loose, ran off, never seen him again in person. But I've seen him in my dreams. I seen him. I seen him I seen him online. I see him online in my videos, but I've never seen him in person again. But that's not the worst part or bad. The good news is I know I did the greatest job I could do with the dog, so I didn't regret anything. So I had no regrets. But I was happy he was gone because I don't have to buy anything for him anymore. I don't have to, do the things I had to do when I had the dog. So I was happy because I never intended to get a dog. It wasn't my dog at first. It ended up being something that I had to do. Like my niece got that dog, and from day one, she didn't take care of that dog. I had to immediately start taking care of this dog from a puppy. And yeah, that's how that went. Although he was a blessing, it wasn't what I intended to get. It wasn't my intentions to go get a dog. And that's how that happened, you know. But I was led by the Spirit, you know, to if I was gonna move to take him with me, because I felt like nobody in that house could properly take care of him but me. And you know, so if I moved out, I was gonna take him with me. But he left before I moved out. So, but I wanted to see him again, right? So I was gonna go on YouTube and check out some videos, but I didn't do it yet. I ended up coming in here and thinking about this scripture, Matthew 6:33, which says, um, "Seek you first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." That's the verse I thought about, and the first part is the main part because it says, "Seek you first the kingdom of God." And I've learned over time what that means. So I went to do some things that I normally would do. And for me, that meant I had to find people to help in a biblical, godly, spiritual way. So that's the reason I'm on this video today. And I just went back to a old formula that I used to use, which back in the day when I used to do this, I used to just look for anybody that needed help, you know, in a spiritual, godly way. Whether you needed prayer, whether you needed to study or read, or just be encouraged, or learn how to fight demons, because a lot of people are always being attacked spiritually by demons. It's always happening. Every month, all year, it's always happening. This is like a very, very common thing. So, this is the reason that I'm doing this video, and it's my job. I'm supposed to do this. It's what people who believe in God and His Son and the commandments and all that's supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be encouraging each other while we still have time. We're supposed to be praying for each other. We're supposed to be studying, and you know, we're supposed to be doing what we can for each other while we still can. And I was telling somebody else earlier. I told her, "Do you know what?" Well, I said I'm supposed to feed the sheep because that's what the Son of God told Simon when he was about to leave. It was when he had risen again in the flesh and he visited them again, and he was telling Simon to feed his sheep, and he said it to him 3 times. It was around. I'm gonna try to find it. It's in John 21:16 and verse 17. So I'm going to read from 14. It says, "This is now the third time that Jesus showed himself to his disciples. After that, he was risen from the dead. So when they had denied, Jesus said to Simon Simon, son of Jonas, love you me more than these? He said to him, Yeah, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to him, Feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, love you me? He said to him, Yeah, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to him, Feed my sheep. He said to him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, love you me? Peter was grieved because he said to him the third time, Love you me? And he said to him, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. Jesus said to him, Feed my sheep. 3 times, might have been in different ways that he said it. But he said, Feed my sheep, feed my lambs. 3 times. I feel like I should be doing the same thing. I ain't Peter. I wasn't there when it happened, but still, if he told him to do that, I took it on myself to do the same thing. So that's another reason that I do these things I do, because I'm supposed to feed the sheep. So, I look at it like I'm here to serve. My job is to serve. I like my job. I don't get paid for it, but I mean, it's probably other ways that I get rewarded for it that are very good, but I still like my job. So, and I thought about it, another way too. Like these evil spirits, they know, or they're gonna find out what I'm doing, and they might come for me, but I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'll be ready. I'm ready now. So but I'm still gonna do what I gotta do. It's a lot of people out here that need help spiritually. Everybody's fighting demons. And people can change and turn their life around and do better. And I'm looking at things a little bit differently now. I've seen it before that I could do things on a bigger scale that I couldn't do before when I was in the world. Because when I was in the world, I'm gonna read what you said in a minute, but when I was in the world, I had access to thousands of people, and I still do. What I mean is, the Most High allowed my mindset and way to be the type of person that didn't want to be locally famous. I wanted to be internationally famous. So I always went beyond my city and my state. I always tried to go universal with my social media. I tried to like reach out to people all around the world, or at least all around USA and Canada. So I have thousands of people on Facebook as my friends. I have 2 Facebook pages with over 4,000 friends each. That's almost 10,000 people. And then I have access to this page again. I just got back in it. I had forgotten my password and things like that for a while, but I just got back in it recently. And I have, if I remember right, I think it was over 10,000 friends on this website called Moco Space, but I could be a little off. But I know it's over at least 1,000. So if I am right that I got 10,000 friends on that, that's good. But either way, it's a lot. It's a lot of people. I know some people might have died, but still, there's a lot of people that is still alive. And now that I'm different, I'm not in the world like I used to be. I'm not this this the same person. Even though some of my old ways can try to come back, but overall, I'm not that dude anymore. So I have access to a lot of people, and I'm seeing things a little different than I seen, and I'm still learning. So I was just recently in an encounter with this woman who she's like a porn star in a way. She sells herself for money, and I was telling her you don't have to make money this way. Maybe for now, but you can make money another way because she's very beautiful, but that's just for now what she's doing because there's people in the Bible. We all know the famous story about the harlot, Rahab, and then we all heard about the one who was around with the Christ. What was her name? Mary. We all heard about Mary Magdalene or Magdalene. So it is people that's out there doing these things that might be doing that for now, but they can change. Most High willing. So I'm looking at things differently when it comes to them. And because think about it, I don't know if y'all know, but it's very popular out there. Like is the sex world is very very popular, and it's been like that for years, and it's getting to the point where people are just using like this thing called OnlyFans and a lot of these little webcam sites, and it's a lot of that people are using to make money. So I don't think that's gonna die, but it's some of these people that can be helped by the Most High. But it's gonna take people like us to talk to them. It's gonna take some sort of preacher or some sort of servant of God or somebody to say something to them, to have a conversation with them, or for them to listen to us. That something's, what I'm saying, something like that is gonna have to happen. So I'm looking at things differently, and I'm gonna use my opportunity, most High willing, to talk to them because I can act a certain way. I know how to act in order to talk to them. And once I start talking to them, if they allow it, I can throw some things in there. And if they're willing, then they're willing. But if they're not, they're not. Because I know some people just not gonna be willing. Like I know this one lady, she's all about money, but I know she's dealing with evil spirits because she does like pornos and OnlyFans and stuff like that, or at least OnlyFans. That's what she's into, I believe. So I know she's dealing with evil spirits, but at the moment, she's not willing to talk unless it's about money. And I don't really want to talk to her because that's all she want to talk about. But if she was willing to talk about something else, okay, I would do it. But right now, she's not willing. So it's some people that's going to be willing and some people's not. So I'm looking at it differently. I'm trying to, find certain people and meet certain godly people through all these. It's like a sickness or a sick world out there, basically. It's like a lot of sexual and negative things going on out there. But in the midst of it all, I'm trying to find certain people that I can conversate with and talk to about, biblical spiritual things overall and see what's going on. Because that's kind of what I'm getting back into. So, and I'm looking for people, random people, good or bad, male or female, gay or straight, to see if they have been getting attacked by demons, to see if they need to learn how to fight them, because not everybody knows. So I'm more open now to accept gay people again, because I know some of them just coming at me for the wrong reasons, but I'm looking at that as an opportunity. Okay, come on. I know what you're here for, but you don't know what I'm gonna say to you. You don't know what I'm here for. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity, and we'll see what happens. That's some of the stuff that I've been thinking about and doing and starting to do. So yeah, it's been a long video, y'all. Y'all got any questions or anything? Oh, I see you said you back. Oh, wait. I ain't read this either. Um, Anointed says, we show that we love him by feeding his sheep. That's deep, brother. Yep. I ain't look at it that way. I got all these books out and I ain't even read all of them. I knew I wasn't gonna read all of them. I'll just tell you about some of these books. I was supposed to get some more scriptures in here. Man, I'm gonna have to do this again. Yeah, this is a big topic. I wanted to stay on this topic, but I came to serve. So whatever I was asked, I was gonna try to help out with. Thanks to the Most High, that's what I did. Did I just see that? Oh, okay. So this is Demonology of King James. This was mentioned in this video. This book in the Testament of Solomon gives you a lot of information on witches, witchcraft, and satanic devices that can be used against people and are being used against people. And it's a good informative book. Just like the Testament of Solomon. The Testament of Solomon doesn't just tell you about these things, it gives you ways to fight these evil spirits. So it's probably a bit better, but they both good to me. They both talk about a lot of demons and the powers they have and the things they can do. And some of these things we've seen in movies and we just already knew or heard about, but they are in here too. Some stuff we might have never heard about, but they're in here too. Oh yeah, demonology, it talks about magicians too. I believe those two are really good for finding out a lot about demons. It's a dangerous game talking to people living that life. I mean, the life that we used to, but Yeshua said we'll be able to do even greater things than he. So your vision is in line with the will of the Most High, brother. I'm listening and writing. Okay, well, also with what you said, anointed, I think that was. Now, what you probably didn't think of is I have been reading the Old and New Testament, and one thing the Son of God did that people didn't think was good or okay, he was with the sinners, the people that wasn't righteous. He came for the sinners, right? But well, that's one of the reasons he came. But I mean, if we think about it that way, that's also saying that we got to go to them too. Well, we don't have to, but it's also showing us a good thing to do too, because if we only stay with the righteous, we probably aren't helping anybody unrighteous. If we only stick with like-minded people, or the righteous, I'll just say the righteous. But sometimes we got to go out there to them. Anointed says he hung around the sinners because they needed him most. I with you. Yeah. So that stuff, I remember too. And I look at it like that. And I thought about this too a while back, like I remember I used to work with this atheist and he don't believe in God anymore, but I would talk with him every now and then and just try to say things to get him to think differently, to try to seek out who is the true God again. I done broke my pen, messing with it, but he would talk to me about it. He was willing to talk to me though. He was always willing to talk to me though about it. But I remember we had went on we went to a restaurant, me, him, and this other employee, and two of us believed in God and he didn't, and we would just have these conversations every now and then. That was like my main thing I was wanting to talk about, even though we're gonna talk about some other stuff. But I was ready to talk about that topic and see where he was at with it. So every time we talk, if we got enough time, we talk about that, right? So I was willing. I looked at it like this: even though he's an atheist and he's not like me, he don't believe like me. We're not like minded completely, but I was willing to go on, like spend money, go out to eat with this person if it would help him and turn his life back to God, or go the right way. If that's what it takes, I looked at it like that because what if it works? One day, all this money, all the time we had to go and eat here and there and talk, maybe it worked, maybe it won't. But that's the risk and sacrifice that I'm willing to take. So I look at it like that. I mean, some people might not think of it like that, but I do. And it's kind of the same with other situations. I know people who have been into witchcraft, and I know Wiccans, and they all can change. They all can be changed. It's just somebody. It's gonna take for somebody to talk to them. Somebody's gonna have to plant a seed. Somebody's gonna have to. Somebody's got to do some work. I put it that way. Somebody's gonna have to do what they're supposed to be doing, and try to win souls. It might not be like a popular conversation, or it might not come out of a lot of people's mouths that are Christians or righteous or whatever you want to call it, followers of Christ or God, but it is out there though. It is Wiccans, it is warlocks, it is witches, it is Satanists, and they all can change. A lot of them can be changed. So it's a lot of work to be done. It's a lot of stuff to be studied and said. And I just be thinking about these things. And I got a lot of stuff I can do. I got a lot of stuff I already have written down, and I got a lot of ideas already. I just haven't been doing a lot of stuff. I'm just getting to the point where I'm starting to work a lot more. And I don't mean like just work for money. I mean like work, just work. Just do stuff that I should be doing. So I'm trying to catch up. And maybe as I catch up, I'll do some of these things too. Speaking of work, I gotta get to working on some other stuff. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I gotta get ready to do some other stuff too. So my night is gonna be busy. But anyway, guess I'll get out of here and talk to y'all most I will in next week. I'm gonna try to do videos every week, but I'm gonna leave this in the Most High's hands because just recently I got a community strike on my YouTube channel, which they banned me from doing videos for a whole week. So depending on how things go, Most High willing, you'll see me next week. But if things don't go good, you won't see me. But I'm gonna leave that in the Most High's hands. So Most High willing, I'll do a video next week. Let's see what was said about anointed. That straightened our spiritual walk when we can resist temptation of our old ways and win souls over to the Most High. That's what I mean by my first message on dangerous things. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I feel good. This was a great video and great topic and conversation. You know, I didn't get to everything, but maybe next time. Maybe next time. I had so many books, and I had more scriptures, believe it or not, to share with y'all. But we got what we got in here. So maybe next week, if I even do it, because I'm the type of person I just go with what I feel I should do at the time or what's best to do. I try to be spirit led a lot, but this was the only thing that I thought of to do today. This was my topic for today. I was just reaching out to people about this, and I did it in a bold, broad way today, like I've never done it before. I've never like made it. I don't think I ever made it as bold and broad as this, like where I just, because I would normally do it behind the scenes where nobody really knows what I'm doing, but today I just posted it as my main post on Facebook, on both my pages, and in a few groups, and in my group. And then I also shared it on Twitter, which I don't think nobody said anything on. But then I also, did I go somewhere else? Oh yeah, I went to Moco Space, and I was speaking to people on there about it. But yeah, it's different. I don't normally go that bold, but it got good attention though. I thought it wasn't going. I don't think it would have. I don't think I would have. I can't even say it. I don't think it would have did that good. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But it did pretty good. I'm surprised. Like on Facebook, it went really good, but on Twitter, nothing so far. Moco Space, I think I worded it a bit different, so I don't think I got anything from that. But it went pretty good. I can't complain. And it was kind of so good that I couldn't like offer my services to everybody in a certain way. I was trying to like do it a certain way to still help people, but not like get on the phone with everybody. But because it's ways that you can help multiple people at the same time instead of just one person and spend a lot of time with just one. When you can get a group of people, a group, if I not say that properly, and then just teach everybody at the same time. So yeah, I'm trying to like do it in a smart way, but still be effective. I gotta get a ginger ale, man. A ginger ollie. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. All right, man. Peace be to the saints, and peace be to everybody that watches this video and even gets this far in the video. The shirt says Hallelujah, which means praise the Lord, or praises to the Lord, or praises to Yah, or praises to, some people say Yahuwah, Yahweh, etc. However you pronounce the Most High's name, in whatever language, there you go. All right, though.